Well, joining us live on NDTV from the capital city of Kyiv is the Sviatoslav Yurash. I hope I've pronounced your name right. He's a Ukrainian member of parliament and head of parliamentary friendship group with India. He's also a member of the Foreign Policy Committee. Thanks very much for joining us. Can you tell us exactly where you are at the moment and what is the situation there?
I'm in the Kyiv region, going to the front lines with some medical support to meet my assistant, my parliamentary assistant, who's now head of a platoon there. Platoon which I'll be joining shortly. And yes, battle is raging right now. So we have cleared the Russians out of Kyiv, but as far as Kyiv region and outskirts of Kyiv, Russians are trying to cut our supply lines to the west. And because of that, we essentially are battling there.
You know, this has been an incredibly hard time for you as well. You've suffered, a very deep personal loss.
Indeed. But I think the reality is that everyone in Ukraine in these weeks has lost somebody, had somebody flee, had somebody suffer, had somebody who is now in the front lines. The reality is our country right now is a country which in this motivation is very clear about the need for justice. It needs to be done for all those who have perished in this battle for the future.
Right. Condolences to you for your loss. I also want to, ask you about the latest footage that we are seeing. There's been footage that's been released by the Russian side, and we'll put that out on our screens in just a moment as well, of the Russian side, the Russian military releasing footage claiming that they've destroyed 97 military targets in the span of the last 24 hours. And this is, of course, a claim that Russia is making. How would you respond to that?
I'm not sure about Russian claims of any sort. Russians are claiming all sorts of lies, not just now, but throughout the conflict we have with them for 80 years that have passed us by, but also for hundreds of years of our history. The reality is that Russian facts are nothing of a sort, and whatever they are throwing on the table needs to be cross-examined some more. So no matter what Russians are saying, I'm yet to see the evidence of any sort. They're making outrageous claims all the time.
Right. So, I mean, it is at the end of the day a claim that they're making, and it is the Russian military that's released that footage. There's also footage that's been released by the Ukrainian army, which is, talking about or rather showing damages that have been sustained by Russia, whether it is, close to the port city of Mariupol, where we can actually see one of the Russian boats being bombed, or whether it is those Ukrainian tanks that are pulling, Ukrainian tractors, I beg your pardon, that are pulling away Russian tanks.
Well, again, it's in people's war. It's the fact of the matter is our nation is invaded as a whole, and Russia is trying to destroy our nation. So for us, there's no debate here. We need to win this because the cost for losing is losing everything.
Right. Can you give us a sense of what's happening in Mariupol at the moment? Because even President Zelensky has highlighted that it continues to be one of the worst hit, and even humanitarian corridors, have been blocked by Russia at the moment.
Mariupol is hell on earth. That's the reality of what Russia is doing. I'm sorry, I'm checkpoint right now. Yes, Mariupol is hell on earth right now. And the fact of the matter is that we are trying to defend that city against all the odds, against the fact the Russians are cutting off the soldiers there. And we have heroic defense there led by people who have been claimed that they are not going to give up our city, and they are not going to give to Russian slaughterhouses they are making there. We will show the world with defense that Ukraine is ready for anything and will defend no matter what Russians throw at us.
Very quickly, I also want to get in a sense on what are the hopes and expectations from President Biden's visit to Poland. There are several key meetings, more sanctions expected on Russia. How are you looking at these developments?
The West has awesome might. It has immeasurable military budgets and means and authorities to try and do everything and anything that is possible to stop this madness at any point that the West decides. So whatever steps Biden will make is welcome. But again, we live in a situation where, although all is welcome, nothing is enough and everything is needed. So no matter what steps will be made by the West so much more needs to happen to stop this madness from going on.
All right. Well, thank you very much for joining us, and a safe journey to you. I know you're heading towards a point to get some military, to get some medical aid. You told us at the beginning. So thank you very much for joining us.